Hello, and welcome to another edition of Cal Conversations. I'm Beth Hadfield, the Activity Coordinator at the Center for Active Living in Plymouth. Today, we're going to be talking about the League of Women Voters, what they're all about, and some things coming up in the very near future. I would like to welcome Deb Etzel, who is a member of the League of Women Voters of the Plymouth area. Welcome, Deb.
Beth, for having me today. The League of Women Voters is a national organization that was formed immediately after the passage in 1920 of the 19th Amendment that legalized the right to vote for women. It was started by those involved in that fight to help women get up to speed on government and voting. Our membership today consists of both men and women who are at least 16 years old, and we have members in every state in the union. There is a state level league in each state and local level leagues under each state league. Our local league, the Plymouth Area League, has about 70 members and welcomes anyone who shares our goals to join us. We are, however, a dues-paying organization, so keep that in mind. The major goals of the league to provide education for voters and encouragement for voter participation, as well as participating in advocacy activities. Advocacy includes lobbying and promoting the passage of legislation in spheres locally, at the state level, and federally, where the league has a stated position that that legislation would support. We are not a charity, but we are a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization, which is called a 501c4 because we do spend money lobbying. By nonpartisan, we mean that we do not promote any particular candidate or party, but focus on issues and legislation in the areas that we have positions on. Our local league has several active committees. Our sustainability committee will be presenting 3 educational events this summer in conjunction with several other organizations in town that are focusing on sustainability. The events will be in June and July and include an EV car show, a presentation on heat pumps, and a 3rd presentation on solar panels. They are all at the main library and free and open to the public. Another committee, Civic Engagement, is working to assist our school children in their state-required civics projects. A 3rd group, we call Voter Services, is the team that holds the local candidates forums. And the 4th is our Observer Corps, which has members watching a variety of town meetings and reporting back. Their reports are open to the public and can be found on our website, PlymouthLWV.org.
Deb, I have a different question. A little aside. You do talk about that you can have participants as young as age 16. Do you have many under the age of 20?
No. Though about 3 years ago, we had 3 young ladies from the high school who were juniors and seniors who were active, helping us a lot with technology because we tend to be a little bit older, but we would love to have more high school age men and women participate in our efforts to get Plymouth more engaged in its government.
So you are called the League of Women Voters, but you do accept men in your group and to be part of the League of Women Voters.
Absolutely. There are men in all levels. There are men on the national league and on the state league. And we have several men in our local league as well.
Good to know. Good to know. I actually thought it was all women, and the man I knew that was working with you, I thought he was like the technology person. So now I understand better that anybody can actually join.
When it was first formed in 1920, it was all women. But
Gotcha.
long about the 60s, they opened it up and said, this is silly. we can. But originally it was to try to get women more comfortable with
Right.
the political sphere.
Gotcha.
So
Completely understand that. Is there something specific that you want to talk to us and tell us about today that's going on with the league?
today, I would like to remind the Plymouth voters that there is a local town election coming on Saturday, May 18th. The election is for Select Board, Planning Board, Redevelopment Authority, Housing Authority, School Committee, and 3 town meeting reps from each precinct. There will be early voting at the town hall starting May 9th, and mail-in ballots are also available. And of course, there's voting on the actual day, May 18th. That is a Saturday in May, kind of a busy time. More details can be found at the town clerk's website. Now, the Plymouth League promotes a couple of ways for voters to learn about who's on the ballot. We will be holding 2 sets of candidates forums. The first forum will be at 7 p.m. in the Great Hall in the Plymouth Town Hall on April 25th. And that will feature candidates for the Select Board and the Planning Board. The event will be televised on the local scene, and the video will be available on YouTube, which will be easily accessed through the League's website shortly after the event. Again, the League's website, PlymouthLWV.org. The second forum will be at 7 p.m. at the School Administration Building in the Mayflower Room on April 30th, featuring the candidates for school committee. This year, we will be having free childcare, and it will be available at the Nathaniel Morton School right across the street, provided by the YMCA. So parents, you can come even if you can't get a babysitter. The event will be filmed on EdTV, and the video will be available shortly through our website, Plymouth LWV, and through the schools. Another option for learning about the candidates is to go to PlymouthLWV.org and read the candidates' own statements in our voter's guide, which we will have up shortly. You might ask, why aren't the Housing Authority or the Redevelopment Authority part of the candidates' forums? Well, both of those positions only have one person running, so we can't really have a forum. But they will, however, be offered a 3-minute spot at the beginning of the town forum to introduce themselves to the voters and make a statement about their candidacy if they so choose.
Is there, I would like to add one thing at this point. The Center for Active Living is also doing a meet and greet of the candidates, and we are holding our meet and greet on Wednesday, April 24th at 5 p.m. We will all gather in the lobby. You will have time to speak to the candidates if you so choose, and each of the candidates will have about 5 minutes to talk about anything they would like the constituents to know about. So that's another option if you want to be in person, and here at the Cal, it's Wednesday, April 24th at 5 p.m. Okay. Deb, is there anything else that you want to add to this discussion that you want our voters and people of Plymouth to know?
Yes. In our effort to educate the voters of Plymouth, we recently held a forum with town and school officials called Where Do Your Taxes Go? Something everybody's always interested in. That forum featured the town manager and the finance director, as well as the school superintendent. they detailed the myriad of areas that both the town and the school districts spend our tax dollars on. Now, that's a past, but we did, Locally Seen did film it, and it is available, and it can be seen through a link on our website. By now you know what that is, PlymouthLWV.org. And we hope that you can take the time to watch that and learn a little bit about more about where all the money is spent. Doesn't make it any better, but at least you know where it's going. I've mentioned our website multiple times, and we do maintain it as a source of local information regarding voting, running for office. If you have questions about that, we have some videos on that, and other educational resources. All of our Observer Corps reports are there. Your listeners can also join our organization by filling out a form on that website. So in closing, the League of Women Voters of the Plymouth area would like to strongly encourage all eligible Plymouth voters to use their voice through their vote in the upcoming local elections on May 18th. It's very important.
Deb, I cannot thank you enough, and I do want to mirror your comment. It is very important that we as the locals in Plymouth get out and vote. You know, recently we had Kelly McElrath here, and the one thing she did say to us is, if you needed to reach a selectman, you could pick up the phone and call them. We can't actually do that with the President of the United States, but we can do that locally. And I think that is something as locals here in Plymouth, we need to remember that if we do need to reach any of these people, there are multiple ways that we can, and on a normal basis, they will get back to you. So
their town meeting, which is your legislative body, takes place in a week on April 6th. And
yes.
I believe that is also televised by the Local Scene. You can watch it from home and see it, or you can go to the high school and be a part of it. Then I think it's Plymouth North. And that is the body that acts like the Congress. So that's another body. That's all the precinct people, all the precinct members that you have that represent you. So again, that's another way to find out a little bit more about what's going on.
Deb, I cannot thank you enough for being here with me today. I appreciate your time. And remember, folks, it's the League of Women Voters, LWV.org. And
Plymouth,
you can
Plymouth LWV, Plymouth LWV.
LWV.org. And you know, you can get all the information that you need. Deb, thank you again so much for joining me, and we'll see you again soon.
Okay, thank you, Beth, for the opportunity to speak to your viewers.